Hi guys, welcome to the Mgtalkssport podcast. Today I've got Tate McDermott, current Reds halfback on. He's also played for Australian Sevens. Hope you guys enjoy it. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
I always wanted to be it was a bit of I was tossing up between surf life saving. I wanted to be an Ironman
Yeah.
or a rugby player. I always loved
Okay.
the Wallabies, always loved the Reds. So it was a bit of a comp between those two.
Yeah. How would your oldest friend describe you?
How would my honest friend? Annoying, probably.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe I talk too much sometimes. Yeah,
Sure.
but yeah.
What are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? I reckon maybe it's a bit of another one. Either debuting for Australia in Sevens or debuting for the Reds.
Yeah, I get that. How do you
Yeah.
handle hard times?
I guess I lost a good friend of mine when I was about your age. At Surf Life, he died at a Surf Life Saving Carnival. So,
Oh yeah.
he's a really good mate of mine. So when I'm having a tough day, I just think back to, puts it all back into perspective. Obviously his family I was pretty close to. They had a shocking day that day. So that's kind of how I handled tough times, I reckon.
Were you there that day?
Yeah, I was on the beach. I was in the race after him. So
Oh
it was,
yeah.
it was a tough one, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it hard moving from 15s to 7s and then back to 15s after the 7s?
Yeah, I think the first, it was tough because, as you know, being a halfback, you don't really
Yeah.
get a chance to do it too much. I was
Yeah.
more playing like a fly half seven role, centers role at seven.
Yeah.
So, but I think what I struggled really was going back to 15s.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been box kicking and passing off the deck as much, I really struggled with my basic skills. So, I think that was probably the biggest struggle for me.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Like, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
How much work did you have to put back into going back to halfback to do it?
Yeah, a lot, eh?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of hours trying to fix it because I was so used to passing like a 10, like running
Yeah.
and passing. It's a tough skill to learn, passing off the deck. So I had to almost start again.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of hours putting back into that because, obviously if you're going to play for the Reds, you need to learn how to pass off the deck pretty good. So,
Yeah. You've played for Australian Sevens and the Reds. What's the difference between the two in the intensity of work?
I guess the biggest difference, you obviously do a lot more running in sevens, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit more like AFL in that sense. You clock up not so much more kilometers because it's only for 14 minutes, but at a higher intensity for those kilometers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But obviously rugby 15 aside, you've got way bigger collisions.
Yeah.
You've got bigger bodies. Sometimes you even got it's tough. Sometimes you got quicker people, but yeah, I guess just the skill goes up another level, and you've got the bigger bodies you got to deal with.
Yeah. Was it also hard in the aspect of playing a game for sevens and then playing again maybe the next hour or two and then again playing the next day?
Yeah, that's another one I completely forgot about. That's probably the biggest difference as well. Just your ability to back up.
Yeah.
Some in those tournaments you play 3, if not 4 games a day, and that's against quality opposition. It's not like you're playing against a terrible team. So, and the thing with sevens, like, you've just got to go a few things that go against you, and you've already lost your game.
Yeah.
Because it's only 14 minutes. So it's pretty cutthroat, but it's good. It's good fun.
Australian Sevens though, was it even hard? Was it hard playing through each weekend as well, like the traveling from each place and then having to play on that weekend and then play 8 maybe games, and then plus the traveling. Was that hard as well?
Yeah, so the way they work it, they've got so you play your 2 weeks in consecutive, so 2 weekends, and then you have a month off to prepare for the next 2. So I guess the traveling was pretty tough. I wasn't too used to it. You get pretty used to it in Super Rugby because you do a lot of flying now when you go to South Africa or Argentina and stuff like that. But so I was pretty lucky when I debuted. I went to Wellington, Sydney, so it wasn't that much of the traveling. But then when I did the Vancouver and Vegas leg, it was a lot to get your head around, particularly at different time zones, stuff like that. So I think traveling does have a big impact. You're in a different environment every week, pretty much. But it's also a good lifestyle. You get to have a look around different cities,
travel the world.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good fun.
Yeah. Are you enjoying playing 15s again?
Yeah, I love it. It was my dream as a kid to play, representative footy for a 15 aside. So, to be into the Reds and hopefully one day play for the Wallabies, it would be a dream come true. So at the moment, I guess I am living my dream at the moment.
Yeah. Are you enjoying playing for the Reds as well?
Yeah. It's tough when you're not consistently winning, but we're so close. For anyone watching, we really are so close. So, but it's awesome, man. It's an honour every time you get to wear the maroon jersey.
Yeah, if you're losing, you're only losing by 5-3, something like that.
Yeah, and that's the most frustrating part, eh?
Yeah.
Because we're beating ourselves a lot of the time, not the actual team. So but
yeah. How's your relationship with Brad Thorn though, in that sense?
Yeah, it's good. Obviously he's got high standards for all of his players. So, if he's not happy with a certain aspect of your game, then you go away and you work from it. So, but it's good. It's good, man.
Yeah. How are you keeping yourself busy and fit during this time?
I'm pretty lucky. I did a lot of training by myself before I made the Reds. So I've got a pretty good home gym here, and I've got access to a pretty good rugby field just down the road. So, we get sent all our stuff online, and I train with Big Harry Hawkins a lot. We get our training done together, we get our gym done, and then we get our running done, and then I do a bit of schoolwork just by myself and with my brother sometimes. So it's different, but it's a time you put a lot of time towards your skills in this period. So I'm trying to do that.
What are you doing in the skills aspect? What are you working on there?
Skills, so I'm a lot of my passing. I'm doing a little bit of kicking here and there, but my main focus during this break and until we head back is just really have a quality pass. So speed of service, trying to consistently hit the same spot over and over again under fatigue as well. So just little technical stuff, not really changing my technique, but just trying to make it more efficient.
What else are you doing in the what are the Reds sending out in programs?
The Reds, so they're just it's just a speed or a fitness kind of conditioning program that they send out. It's not too much work, to be honest, but it's just stuff to maintain the level that we were at when we were playing footy. A lot of speed work, which will be good for a halfback particularly. So that's I'm pretty happy about that. We're not so much running, ridiculous kilometers. We're just trying to get short sessions done at a high intensity. So, and then they also send out your gym stuff. I think we got 3 sessions a week. And that's just all online as well. With
your home gym, do you have most of the gym equipment that you'd have at the Reds?
Yeah. So I'm pretty lucky that I already had a lot of that, but they also opened up the Ballymore gym, so we got to almost get free reign on it, take whatever we wanted to. So for the boys that didn't have a good setup, they got majority of it, but got some extra weights and stuff like that.
Nice. Who's the worst teammate to room with through your career, and why?
Angus Scott Young, I reckon. Youngie.
Why?
Because he's weird, mate. He reads all the time and he speaks to himself and stuff like that. He's a weirdo, mate.
I've had a lot of Taniela Tupos.
Yeah, I haven't had the pleasure of rooming with Nelly yet, but I'm assuming that would have come from one of the Smith boys. But
both of them?
Yeah. So I think that's a common one for the team.
Yeah. What's
But
the
also
best?
Youngie, yeah. If you speak to the boys, they'll tell you Youngie as well, I reckon.
Yeah. What's the best word to describe you right now?
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Best word to describe me right now is probably bored, I reckon.
Yeah. Most people.
Yeah.
Hmm. What advice would you give a 12-year-old today?
I think, particularly with sports like rugby, if you love it, the game can take you anywhere. There's so many different places that you can play rugby union around the world, and it all comes back to how much you like it. So, there's obviously a bit of sacrifice. You got to spend a bit of time working on your passing and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
the game can take you anywhere if you love it enough.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on today, Tate.
That's all right. Thanks for having me, Maxie.
Thanks, Tate.
See you, mate.
See ya. There we go, guys. That was Tate McDermott, Reds halfback and former Australian Sevens player. That was all about him and his story. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you in the next podcast. Thanks.